The following is a presentation of the Pro Wrestling Report. Informative, entertaining, and real since 1998.
Welcome to the Pro Wrestling Report. Be the booker for WWE Survivor Series 2011. Damian Nelson along with David Octavius and Tiberius, the alleged Hall of Famer of Divas Hardcore Championship Wrestling hero. And what we do in this segment is we take a look at the announced matches for the pay-per-view on Sunday.
At the time of this taping.
At the time of this taping. And David Hero then goes through the matches and books them as he would do as a booker man. And I give you the results or the information as a sane person would see them. So let's now start with the first contest we're going to talk about, which is for the Divas Championship. Beth Phoenix will be defending her championship against Eve, and this one is for the title.
It almost seems like it's backwards. You would have thought that Eve would have got the title match last month, and then the Maximum Cover Girl, K Squared, would have gotten it this month. Kelly is the one that they're building up to be the big diva star, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Which that right there tells you that I don't really think Eve
the eraser
is going to leave Survivor Series as the new Divas champion, but that belt will stay firmly around the waist of Beth Phoenix until maybe the Royal Rumble or the TLC pay-per-view where they can do some other types of shenanigans. But right now, Eve is definitely going to leave the loser at Survivor Series.
So you're picking Beth Phoenix here?
Absolutely. How can you not? How can you go against the Glamazon?
I'm not knocking, I'm just confirming.
She's the best diva wrestler in the company. She looks fantastic, and she's just killing everybody.
Is that going to be EPO or DWHS?
I haven't gone through the whole show yet.
Okay, just making sure.
Patience, bromigo.
It is a traditional Survivor Series matchup as Team Orton takes on Team Barrett. On Team Orton, you have, obviously, Randy Orton, Sheamus, Mason Ryan, Kofi Kingston, and Sin Cara going up against Team Barrett, which is headlined by Cody Rhodes, who was joined by Jack Swagger, Hunico, and Dolph Ziggler, who will be performing double duty again on a WWE pay-per-view for the Survivor Series event this Sunday night. This one, this is going to take some booking, David, because who's going out first,
tough.
Who's going to be staying, who's going to win, what team?
If I got to pick who's going to leave first, I'm guessing Hunico is the first guy that's going to be off the pay-per-view because he's the smallest guy and he's not near the star part of those. This is interesting pay-per-view because what team needs it more? Does Wade Barrett, Cody, Swagger, and Dolph need it? Or does Orton, Kofi, Sheamus, Ryan, and Sin Cara need it? I can't tell. These guys, I think, would benefit more from a Survivor Series win. But right now, I mean, this company is just building Sheamus to be a top star, a top babyface.
This company right now is also just building Cody to be a top star, a top heel.
That's fine, but at the end of the day, Cody versus Sheamus, that's a bro kick, amigo. I mean, come on.
You ever heard of brains over brawn?
Yeah, and Sheamus is a smart guy too. I mean, look how he manipulated John Cena to win his first WWE Championship. If I'm being the booker, I'm going to give as much as I can to Barrett, Swagger, and Dolph to be strong heels and, beat up the good guys for a good portion of the match. But at the end of the day, you got to develop Sheamus, and I have a funny hunch that the Beast Ryan is also going to be given some big TV time and a big push at Survivor Series. I got to go with
a lot of people to push him.
I got to go with Team Orton.
Do your voices telling you that, or?
Well, it's my own voices. I pay attention to myself.
Team Barrett loses to Randy Orton by disqualification this past Monday night on Raw, but Barrett has been getting some heavy activity in WWE as of late in the win side of things.
They have to establish him as being a credible threat to Randy Orton. In the last few weeks on TV, they've done exactly that, where they've had Wade Barrett get the victory over Randy Orton with the thumb of the eye. Even though he lost by DQ this past month on Raw, Wade Barrett is still a star in the making.
Does this pay-per-view suffer with only one of these traditional Survivor Series matchups?
I don't think so because the talent roster isn't deep enough to have more than one.
Back
in
Doinks versus the
back
Dinks.
in the 80s when they could have 10 tag teams on one side.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Big difference.
Do you remember the Survivor Series march that Hacksaw Jim Duggan did on a Superstars once? I think it was him and his whole team. They all came out with 2x4s and did this whole coordinated dance or march thing.
Good old Hacksaw.
Oh. The United States Championship will be on the line as what we believe to be Zack Ryder getting his shot against Dolph Ziggler. There's petitions and all. SmackDown didn't leave it crystal clear as to what was going to happen here, but we do know Dolph will be defending and pulling double duty at the Survivor Series his presumed opponent, Zack Ryder.
Woo, woo, woo. And you know what? You got to figure Madison Square Garden is going to be rocking the woo, woo, woo. They're going to be firmly behind Zack Ryder.
MSG matters.
MSG
I want to make
does
sure
matters.
everyone notes that you have agreed to that right here, right now.
It's one of two things that are going to happen.
Number one,
Zack Ryder is going to beat Dolph Ziggler.
Number two,
and the crowd is going to go crazy. They're going to be happy that Zack Ryder finally did it.
And Dolph can be perceived or made to be weak going into that matchup if the team matches first.
Absolutely. Or Dolph Ziggler can beat Zack Ryder, and that Madison Square Garden crowd will be furious, which would then set up a third and final match next month at the TLC. So, seriously, I don't know which way to go with this. This one, I'm perplexed. I guess, though, it makes the most sense for Zack Ryder to leave Madison Square Garden, the new United States champion.
Intercontinental? United States champion.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm saying that. But it makes sense.
It made sense last time these two had a match as well because Dolph Ziggler came out of that tag match beaten and battered.
But last time I picked Dolph Ziggler. This time I'm picking Zack Ryder. That's a Linda pick.
Linda Kay?
Linda Kay.
So far, this Sunday at the Survivor Series, David Hero sees things going this way. The Divas Championship stays around the waist of Beth Phoenix. And Eve is disappearing here. Team Orton wins at the Survivor Series traditional matchup over Team Barrett. And Sheamus and Ryan potentially being made to look strong in that matchup, along with Cody Rhodes. The United States Championship is going to change hands in the world according to Hero as Zack Ryder gets singles gold in WWE, taking that title from what would be a assumed weakened Dolph Ziggler from performing double duty on this pay-per-view. Your point about Madison Square Garden is very, very strong. The Long Island IZ, they're going to be solidly behind him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, a couple more matches to talk about, including the matchup for the WWE and the World Championship, and the match that will be the main event. John Cena teaming with The Rock to take on the main eventer, The Miz, and R-Truth. We're going to talk about those matchups when we come back here on Be the Booker for WWE Survivor Series, which is this Sunday night.
Saturday night, December 3rd, it's Blizzard Brawl 7. The annual extravaganza returns to the Waukesha County Expo Center, featuring stars such as Al Snow, Carlito, Chris Masters, Chavo Guerrero, Sonny, Axe and Smash, Demolition, D.H. Smith, and more. Tickets start at only $10 each, and you can buy them now at BlizzardBrawl.com. Blizzard Brawl 7, Saturday, December 3rd, Waukesha County Expo Center.
Welcome back to Be the Booker from Pro Wrestling Report, and I want to remind all of you to tune in to the Pro Wrestling Report prime time tomorrow night on My 24 Milwaukee, 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, and online, of course, as well tomorrow evening, where we talk about all the latest from WWE, TNA, and Ring of Honor Wrestling. So far in Be the Booker, David Hero, you have said that Beth Phoenix will retain her championship, and that Team Orton will win in that traditional Survivor Series matchup, and also a new United States champion to be crowned in
Wow.
Zack Ryder.
Who would have known it?
A couple more matches, and these are the big ones on the show this Sunday night from Madison Square Garden in New York City. And the first one is for the WWE Championship. CM Punk tries again against Alberto Del Rio. Will Alberto Del Rio drive out of Madison Square Garden in his rental car with that WWE Championship?
ADR is going to leave Madison Square Garden, still your WWE champion. But you already knew that. Why not? Why wouldn't he?
MSG.
What better way to get a ton of heat on ADR, who's been kind of lukewarm lately? People really don't care if he's there, if he's not there.
Alberto Del Rio?
Absolutely. He's not really doing anything. Right now, the show has been hijacked by The Miz, R-Truth, CM Punk, John Cena, Kevin
Cody
Nash.
Rhodes.
Everybody but the guy that is holding the gold on that title.
I thought it was just a prop.
It is a prop. So what better way to infuriate all the CM Punk fans but to have Alberto Del Rio cheat to win and beat CM Punk at Madison Square Garden to then set up a gimmick match at TLC next month? CM Punk is better off chasing ADR into next month's pay-per-view than ADR chasing CM Punk. ADR is the guy. He's the champ. He's got the scarf.
It's going to be an interesting dynamic in Madison Square Garden with those two. Because I do believe as much as they're going to be behind Zack Ryder, they're going to be behind
who
CM
are we
Punk.
watching the Survivor Series with this week?
Maria Kanellis, former WWE diva.
Former girlfriend of who?
Former
This
Playboy
guy.
Centerfold and former...
So I'm not going to cheer
You go
for
all
him
TMZ
sitting
sometimes.
next to her. Come on, I'm going to be ADR. We're going to cheer together.
The World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line when Mark Henry defends against the Big Show, and you gotta wonder what role, if any, Daniel Bryan will play in this matchup. It's been these three dancing around on SmackDown for the last couple of weeks.
I hope Daniel Bryan is not the reason Mark Henry loses the World Heavyweight
He
Championship.
can't be. Mark Henry must remain World Heavyweight Champion through WrestleMania if that match is to happen.
Exactly, and that's why it's an easy pick. Mark Henry defeats the world's largest athlete in the world's greatest arena, Madison Square Garden. That's an easy pick.
Well, since it's an easy pick, I was expecting you to DWHS that.
I'm not done with the whole show yet, but you know what? If you want me to DWHS something,
no, don't you dare. Because then when it's wrong, it'll be my fault.
Not at
You
all.
made me do that.
Not at all. Not at all. Listen, you know what? You guys take the DWHS for granted sometimes. You do. It's the most recognized symbol in sports entertainment.
The main event pits The Miz and R-Truth remix against John Cena and, for the first time in a WWE ring in action in almost 7 years,
The Rock.
at Madison Square Garden, where he debuted in WWE.
And his last match was in Madison Square Garden.
It was.
It was
Yes.
with Mick Foley, the Rock and Sock connection against Evolution, WrestleMania 20.
John Cena will be booed out of that building in Madison Square
Absolutely.
Garden. The Rock will be adored by the millions
And millions
of The Rock's fans. The Miz will be the most over guy there that night.
Why are you giving him bunny ears?
R-Truth will be there. This match has so many dynamics that I'm very intrigued to hear which way you're going to go and how you're going to get there. And I understand on primetime tomorrow night, there's even more explanation as to what might happen in this particular matchup.
Absolutely. Abso-frickin-lutely. I mean, right now, it's a one-sided match. It's The Rock and Cena, against The Miz and R-Truth. The Miz has been buried ever since WrestleMania.
Ever since he was picked in the draft by David Hero, he's been buried, yes.
You know what I mean? And he's had to claw and fight his way back to the top of a main event pay-per-view since WrestleMania. John Cena's reaction in Boston was not very favorable. He was almost booed out of the building. There was far more boos than cheers. So then you got to wonder, is this the start of a heel turn for John Cena? Does John Cena leave The Rock to then fend for himself against Miz and R-Truth? To then set up more excitement, more emotion, more heat, more intrigue for their big match at WrestleMania? No matter which way you cut it, The Rock is not going to lose in Madison Square Garden
By a 1-2-3 pinfall?
to these two guys. There's no
that
way.
would be The Miz and R-Truth.
That's fine. Call them whatever you want to call them, but they're not. The Rock is larger than life. He's G.I. Joe. He's not going to lose to The Miz and R-Truth. It doesn't matter how they get there, but this is the end result. John Cena may, in fact, walk out on The Rock. He might. It's happened so many times in the past, whether it be tag teams like the Rockers or the Mega Powers.
Or the Brainbusters. They didn't walk out on each other, but Heenan walked out on them.
I can't even go to there. But remember when Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan beat Bundy and Studd way back
in the day.
And Orndorff then raised Hogan's arm, clotheslined him, gave him the pile driver.
Oh my God!
We could see this happen. We could see
Turncoat.
Cena and The Rock beat Miz and R-Truth. And then as they both celebrate together, John Cena picks him up and gives him the attitude adjustment and leaves The Rock laying.
The Survivor Series is known for controversy. The Survivor Series is known as pretty much the stage-setting event for WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
This Sunday at the Survivor Series, things are going to get very interesting very quickly, and I think there might be a hashtag shenanigan
there's
kind of night
shenanigans
going on.
Absolutely. It's the Survivor Series. It's expected.
Let's talk about the card as David Hero has booked the Survivor Series, which is live this Sunday on pay-per-view and will be followed by the PWR post show on Blog Talk Radio. Beth Phoenix retains the Divas Championship against Eve. Zack Ryder becomes the new United States champion over Dolph Z.
I know what you're thinking.
Team Orton wins their traditional Survivor Series matchup, Cody Rhodes being the last man standing on the other side there.
What did you call
in
him?
that matchup?
You called him the man?
And the WWE Championship remains around the waist of Alberto Del Rio. The World Heavyweight Championship remains around the waist of Mark Henry. And given all that, minus the Zack Ryder thing, not much has happened on this pay-per-view. Leaves this big match at the end, The Rock and John Cena teaming up and defeating The Miz and R-Truth. But the real question is, and I'm not even sure you are ready to answer this, what?
Absolutely. There's no question in my mind, this guy is the ultimate survivor.
Okay, you're DWHSing that The Rock will be, now, please clarify. You just said Ultimate Survivor.
Yeah.
Are you saying that The Rock will get a victory, that The Rock and John Cena's team will win on Sunday?
Absolutely,
That's what you're DWHSing right here.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all you're saying. You're not saying Cena's going to turn heel.
Well, that
The
could
Miz
be
is gonna
like
turn
little
face.
bullet points down below, but yeah, come on, it's a no-brainer. It's The Rock, it's G.I. Joe.
A man who we know won't be back in a WWE wrestling ring until WrestleMania. If something's going to happen,
how great would it
it's gotta
be
happen
for
tonight.
John Cena to then lay out The Rock afterwards? Which is why The Rock can't come back for a couple months.
Benedict.
Oh, absolutely.
The Rock's going to put those boots to asses. This Sunday
to
night
asses.
on pay-per-view.
That was a trending Twitter gimmick.
And remember, if you are in the southeastern Wisconsin area, you can watch the Survivor Series for free with the Pro Wrestling Report team, and our hostess with the mostest, Maria Kanellis, will be joining us at the Horny Goat Hideaway.
La la.
All kinds of great food and drink specials, watching the Survivor Series for free, no charge, on the largest television screen in the Midwest. What is it, 10 foot by 16 feet? It's almost as big as a wrestling ring. And how fitting is it to watch wrestling on that screen? Maria Kanellis, Linda Kay, myself. I think the Kaz might even come out of hiding
Really?
and show up for that event.
God bless the
Possibly.
Kaz.
He's got his fans, you know. And that's all Sunday night at the Horny Goat Hideaway in southeastern Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, to be more specific. This card looks pretty good, David Hero. And
It's a stacked show.
Yeah.
It really is. All the stars are there.
The
Even
Rock
Cody.
equals money for WWE. He equaled millions of dollars at WrestleMania. He equaled ratings this past Monday night. He's going to equal some intrigue for the Survivor Series this Sunday night. For David Hero, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in to this installment of Be the Booker, looking at this Sunday's WWE Survivor Series. We'll see you at the Horny Goat Hideaway and on the post show on Blog Talk Radio.